Welcome back to another episode of Bad Decision Garage. Today, I'm with my buddy Luke, who's outside right now, and we're gonna work on his sweet 1979 Pontiac Bonneville that he got for a pretty good deal. Couldn't pass it down, I guess. Is how he puts it, is he couldn't pass the deal down. It's a pretty sweet car. Cool cruiser. We're gonna get it cruising for him. It runs. It has a leaky brake line, we believe, and a leaking fuel line. So we're gonna deal with those today for sure. Hopefully, get it some brakes and get it so it doesn't just pour fuel on the ground. We'll probably drain the fuel that's in the tank out because it smells horrendous. But that brake line that we were dealing with is gonna be this corner up here. That fuel leak is right there. So I think game plan for right now will be to just jack this side of the car up, get it in the air, get this tire off, peek our head under here, see where that fuel is coming from, and then see where our brake is failing. I kind of peeked under there last night. I think it's leaking out the hard line right at the flare nut. If that's the case, we'll run to town, get some brake lines, make a new line from junction block over to here, plumb it in, try to bleed brakes, and see if we got some brakes. All right, I'll get back with you guys here in a little bit once we get it in the air. All right, guys, the more I thought about it, we're just gonna get this whole thing up in the air, just all up in the air, because we're gonna have to take off all four wheels to bleed brakes anyways, or see what's going on once we get this brake line fixed. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, now that we got it up in the air, we'll at least rip this front tire off and that back tire right away. Probably leave the other side on for now, just because maybe once I start peeling off hubcaps, who knows, maybe I'll start feeling it and just keep rolling. Guys, this is the brake line that's rusted out here. It's rusted right out at the flare nut. We're gonna just probably replace that whole line instead of trying to patch in somewhere, because it's almost easier. But before we run to town, I'm gonna try to make sure I can get this bleeder free on all the brakes before we go to town and to the parts store, so that we can only make one trip hopefully instead of 16 or 17. You know, always forget something whenever you have to run there. So either way, like I said, I'm going to see if we can get this bleeder free. Alright guys, I'm gonna keep working at this. If I break it or get to it, I'll get you guys back in here. Whoa. that one was a failure. We'll see if we can extract the bleeder out of that or what we can do about that. So we'll get to that too later. I'll probably pull the caliper off and see if that helps any. But that's about it. Alright guys, we're going to take this caliper off here quick. There's parts in town. We're just going to run there, grab front calipers, wheel cylinders, and some hard line to fix that other brake line when it's broken. So we're going to fix that other brake line. And then we're just going to take the cores in with us right away. Just makes more sense. So I'm just going to rip this caliper off real quick, and we will be running to town, getting parts, and then we'll be coming back and getting her done. We might also price out brake lines, hoses, while we're there, see if they have them on hand and what the prices of them, because those guys don't look the best. Ratchet started. Ooh. That pin. Oh. Lower pin. There we go. Got it broke loose. Neighbor's over there tuning on his demo car, so you know that's what all that ruckus was about, which isn't a problem. Sounded real good. We go grab the hammer. Just like that. And just like that, we got the caliper off. These pads look great, actually. So, definitely not getting new pads today. Plenty of life left on them. But like I said, we'll see what they have about hoses, because that guy looks pretty bad. But alright guys, we're gonna run to the parts store, get some new calipers, come back, put some brakes in, fix that hard line. I'll bring you guys underneath for that, and then we'll get to rear wheel cylinders. Might have to put some brake lines in back there too, who knows. I'm pretty good at getting those lines off, because I can just, you can just heat the shit out of them, especially if you're replacing the wheel cylinder, because it doesn't really matter if it pops the wheel cylinder apart or not. But alright guys, I'll get back with you when we get back from the parts store. Alright guys, got the new caliper here. Gonna put that on. Reuse the old pads like we said, they're pretty good here, so that's not gonna be a big deal. I'll put you guys up on the tripod while I put this on. Shouldn't take long, and then I'll probably just do the other side without you guys and just get to it, and then I will bring you guys back in for the rear. So, for these bad boys to do, all you do is pretty much inner pad here, just stick her up in there, outer pad, put like so. Slap up on. Slap it up. Like so. Put pins in. One pin. And 2 pin. Tight. Go bloop bloop. Just run that all the way in. Nice and tight. Grab the banjo bolt out of the caliper. One copper washer. Make sure there isn't a copper washer stuck to it. Figure out. Okay. Put bolt. Another copper washer. And that just threads into the back of the caliper. Snug that up, and then I'm going to also open the bleeder valve right away just so that it can start gravity bleeding. Alright, crack that guy open, and then that's just going to start gravity bleeding. And like I said, I'm just going to turn the camera off, go and do the other side, and I will get back with you guys when we get to fixing the hard line. I'll turn you guys back on. Alright guys, as you can see I got the caliper on. Next thing I'm going to do is get this, we got to fix this hard line here. I'm going to do, I believe, the simple method of just cut the line a little bit farther back, and then I can get a socket on there and hopefully save this flare nut. we got to save one of the flare nuts. I forgot to pick up 2. I only have 1. And hopefully we can get it saved. Let's see if we're successful. Alright, that's boom. We need that guy. We can save that guy. That's good news right there. The other fitting is under the car. So I will be like I said, the other side of that line is under the car on the junction block. Let me get under there and see if we can get it undone as successfully as this one was. And then we'll get a new line bent up, flare some fittings on it, and we should be able to put that line in, get these brakes bled, and we should be able to move on to the rears. Alright guys, we're underneath the Bonneville. This is the line we need to get off, and we got to remake this line that shoots all the way over to the other side. Let's see what we got here. That other one actually surprisingly, oh, it's not even tight. I mean, it was tight, but I don't think it's gonna fight us, which is good. Yes. Yes. That is cool. Should be able to reuse both these flare nuts. That's good news. That's very good news. And something just like that. And then we got a few of these brackets that I'm going to take off. At least this one, just so I can get the line. Oh, I guess. Got it. Never mind. Don't need to take that off. We'll just... And then I'm guessing I'm just going to zip tie that line right next to this one all the way over there. But I'm going to get out from underneath the car. I'm going to get these flare nuts off that I need. And I'm going to jump back under here and probably bend up a line. Probably won't show you guys that. I'll bring you back under once I get the line done and show you how I ran it. And then I'll probably show you guys the flare tool too, because that's pretty nifty. But until then. Alright guys. Let me just show you guys quick here. We're here gonna flare. Got our spool brake line here. Yep. Got this super nifty flaring tool. Let me show you guys how this kind of works. For the guys that haven't seen this, something like this. One second, I lost my flare nuts. Trying to get my nuts in a row. There we go. Alright. So how this deal works here is So how this deal works here is we got this little hydraulic piston thingy, but you grab these die blocks here, and you pretty much put the line through the die block. you put the die blocks and whatnot in the machine, in the little hydraulic crimper handle here. You take this little depth finder thing for the line, you push it all up tight so that the line only pokes through so much. You tighten, get it all in there square, tighten this down, and then our blocks aren't fully seated. There we go. And then, as you can see, there's a little bit of protrusion still there coming out of that die block. Next thing you do is you grab the proper size die, put it in here, and then you squeeze the little handle here, pushes the piston forwards. You run that down till it don't run down no more. Release pressure, pop that guy out, grab the cone for the final step of the flare. There we go. And run that down also. Pop it all apart. And you have yourself a flare. I mean, that one's a little rough, but I bet you it's still gonna work just fine. All right, guys. Yeah. Good flare. I mean, it's a little, I'm not actually really thrilled about that one, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But, all right. Whoa. All right, guys, like I said, I'm gonna now just run this line, get it bent into place where I kind of want to roughly run it. I will bring you guys under the car once I get it ran, and then we'll move on to the rear brakes and I'll show you guys about that. All right, guys, like I said, I'd show you how I ran this line. It looks pretty good over here. Hopefully that's just some residual shit and that quits leaking right there. I don't know what's going on. Maybe we'll try tightening that up just a fuzz bit more. Hopefully we don't have to reflare that, because if we do, we're going to be redoing a lot of my lines so we get a little bit more slack. Reused a factory clip there, just kind of bent it around, ran her up, put a zip tie up there to hold her with the rest of those lines up and over, and she goes into her home. We're looking good. But let me see what's going on here quick.
Holds, feel it. Is he kindergarten then? First year? Just started voice this year. Oh shit. So far he sold $400 worth of popcorn. Fuck yeah. Sort of blows my mind, like as a kid growing up in school, but now these kids are selling salt instead of like cookies or candy or fucking whatever. It's like, who the fuck wants to buy this much? Why the fuck do I need this much salt, dude? Sell me something else.
I remember.
Chocolate,
Candy, chocolate bars and shit, man. Like,
yeah, what happened to that? So America became obese. I don't fucking know.
oh, popcorn, no.
I think Neil stated that 6 to 5, 5.5 average Americans would fit in the trunk of his 67 Bonneville.
Yeah.
Average American.
It's good to stay 6 and all, huh?
Yeah.
That's what I was telling them. Put a couple fucking subs in the back and then fucking put. There's enough room for like 2 12s or 15s in the fucking.
I don't know if that's still leaking or whatnot, guys. When we start bleeding, we'll have to check it out. But yeah, that's about that's that line. And now we're gonna jump to the rear wheel cylinders, get them done. I'll show you one side and then I'll just get the other side done. And then we'll get on to bleeding brakes. All right, guys, we're on to the back brakes now. Some good old drummies. They're nothing too crazy or anything to be worried about. It's nothing hard. First things first is we're replacing wheel cylinder. That's all we're doing. We're not going to take the shoes off or nothing. So in order to replace wheel cylinder, nice, quick, easy way, we can just pop the top springs, peel the shoes apart. Wheel cylinder will fall out once we get the rear bolts out. Let's see if my drum brake tool here works. Oh, shit. There we go, there's one. Oh, look at that. All right, there's two. Well, that's not a good sign. The auto adjuster's a little tight. And then, like I said, we just peel apart the shoes. Peel apart the shoes, knock out the little pushers, keep those. We'll need those guys for the new ones. Don't forget your spreader bar. And then on the back side, let me see if I can get you guys in here and actually show you what's gonna happen. I mean, I can't really show you what's happening. Can't really show you what's happening while I do it because there's really no room, but let's see here. Okay, yes, cool. There's some room to show you guys at least what I'll be doing. I am going to be taking the torch, heating up that nut right there, that nut. Super hot, red hot. Some would say maybe too hot. I would disagree. And then that nut should come off without breaking that line because nobody wants to deal with more brake lines tonight. And then after I either twist that nut off and the line off and cuss it out, we'll take off those two bolts right there and this wheel cylinder should fall right out. So I'm going to put the camera down and I'm going to get to it. Oh. Gotta get into low profile mode. What do I do with said line wrench? Oh. It's up here.
size is that one?
Which size is what?
Is that, are you taking off the brake line?
Yeah.
What size is that fucking?
It's a dual line wrench, I'm pretty sure, ain't it?
Yeah. It's a 7/16 flare nut.
And then it's got the other one.
I always thought everything on these fucking cars was metric. So I always thought.
Very few times have I ran into where it matters on,
Brakes?
yeah.
I was gonna say like that.
So, and the thing about these cars is they're half and half. Like, all the hydraulics and stuff are still standard. But then, like, a lot of bolts and stuff throughout it will be metric, but then some of the hardware will be standard in some areas. Like, this is the transition period of going metric. Either we're twisting the line off or else we're getting somewhere, guys. And I feel like we're getting somewhere.
Better than my old Dodge, man. I fucking did that.
Brother, this is what 2 years of solidly doing brakes at least once a fucking week does for a guy. I at least do a wheel cylinder a week in my life, I feel.
The nice thing is, as long as the line doesn't break, it's a pretty fairly easy job.
Yeah. Even if the line does break nowadays, I'm pretty, with that flaring tool over there,
Yeah.
it makes, I don't mind doing brake lines anymore. Especially on like this older stuff. Can you grab me the 7/16 box end wrench? I'm pretty sure it's just laying on top of the toolbox over there. Alright guys, and just like that, we got the line off, and I'm taking these two bolts out right now, and this wheel cylinder will be out. One. No, we bought one flare nut, and then instead of losing just the bag,
We don't need that flare nut.
and that's one bad wheel cylinder right there. Just take the new one, slide her back up in there. Get your line started by finger. Start all flare hosing by finger before using a wrench. Just kind of helps prevent stripping it out. There it is, there it is. Finally got it started. Sometimes it's a little hard and tricky to just get it lined exactly right up. Get the threads all happy. And then pretty much put the 2 bolts back in that hold the wheel cylinder in. Wheel cylinder's tight. And then finish off by tightening up the line back into the wheel cylinder. Alright, that's all in there now. And then we just reassemble our shoes and our springs. Get your spreader bar in there, get that guy in there. Bring your self-adjuster deal back up. Oh yeah, forgot about them. Don't forget about your pushers, like I just almost did. Now we gotta get that guy back off quick. Now spread that back apart. Put little pusher guy there. Just trying to clean some of this shit off this one so that it doesn't just mess up the seals on the boots. Get this guy in over here. Ow, pinch finger. Can't do it without pinching a finger. Nope. Didn't get the spreader bar in right. Get the spreader bar in right. Spreader bar in right. Get the self-adjuster guy up there. Bring spring number 1. Catch spring number 1 on post. Grab spring number 2. Put spring on number 2 right there. And that's how you replace a wheel cylinder. Quick and dirty like. Alright guys, like I said, I'm just going to go do the other side. No reason to show you guys the same nonsense twice. So I'll bring you guys back out once we start bleeding brakes. Alright guys, we were starting to go bleed the brakes, and of course another brake line popped right there. And since I already shown you guys how to do a brake line once, I'm not even going to film this. I'm just going to get this done. I'll get you guys back out once we're starting to bleed again.
When we bleed the brakes, we're all just sitting here in a G-string, or the Cardi D.
All right, guys, I got this newer line. Hopefully that's sealed up. I don't know. Hopefully that's residual that's dripping off of it. Let's say that. Why don't you jump in the car and pump the brakes once? Let's see what happens here. Oh. I don't think I have this bleeder closed all the way in. Where are we? Keep going once, bud. The master's definitely leaking. Alright, keep going once, buddy. Is it even getting hard?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess let's try fucking bleeding these things once. Alright, holding?
Yeah.
Got a fucking geyser there. Alright. Again?
Yep.
There little geyser there. Alright, let's go to the other side once. See what's happening over there. Alright, pump her up.
Yep.
Geyser there. Again.
Yep.
Okay, we should probably go to the backs and see if we get anything out of there. Go and grab socket and ratchet. Yeah, you could. It should only be the front that went down. Alright, pump up and hold.
Yep.
Okay, we have no rear brakes. No rear brakes whatsoever. Whatever. Better burnouts that way. What? You feel like you got a brake pedal?
Yep.
Cool. I mean, fuck it. Let's try to figure out this fuel leak and go from there. I mean, if we need rear brakes, we'll figure that out later. Could be the proportioning valve or it could be the master, but... And like I said, I think this master's leaking, but
It's coming out the top.
it is coming out the top and shooting back, so maybe it's that, but... Alright, yeah, we're gonna... Hold tight, guys. I think we're gonna probably drain fuel here soon out of the tank, and then probably put some fresh fuel in and try to find a fuel leak. Or we'll try to find the fuel leak with the bad gas. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. I'll get back with you guys. Oh yeah, brakes are mostly done.
What is it, lock?
All right, guys, we got this thing on the ground. We patched up a couple of fuel lines. The return line had a pinhole in it, and so did the feed line. Just chopped that out and added some more rubber line to what they already had going on. Doesn't seem to be leaking anymore. We're about to pump up the tires, and we're about to take this thing for a dirty cruise down the back roads. Let's see what she's about. You excited, Luke?
I am excited.
Oh yeah.
I like to be excited.
Alright guys, it's been about a week of the Bonneville back on the road since you watched it pull out of the garage on our test drive. It's been a test drive, huh? What have you all ran into, Luke? Alternator issues?
Alternator went out, fuel filter clogged up, shit that I'd expect. Put a new belt on it, used the alternator. The car's flawless, otherwise it runs great. Haven't had any other issues with it. Shifts great, heats like a Son of a bitch.
Hell yeah, that's what I like to hear. Brakes working?
Brakes are, we're losing brakes.
We're losing brakes, need a new master?
Need a new master.
Yeah, we kind of figured that though, but
Yep.
that's minor stuff here. I mean, like, it still stops though, still
It
stops.
stops.
All right, so back to this alternator that he said, used alternator. This bolt here stripped out and doesn't get tight anymore. We're gonna drill it out and put a nut and bolt on the back side of it right now and be done with it. Get it tightened up so that the belt quits screeching on them. Which, yep, she's loose. Cool. But all right, guys, I'm gonna get you on the tripod. We'll get this set up, and we'll get. I don't even know if I'll. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll get you guys on a tripod. Loosen that guy up and see if we can fit a drill and drill bit in there to yog wire that guy out and take the belt off and slide her all the way over maybe. Or we might have to pull the alternator out, which is kind of weird. No, that's too far now. There. Let's see if we can get a drill bit in there.
I mean, I can
have a bolt.
I'm sure I do.
Okay. Let's find the bolt first that we want to use so that we know what size drill bit to use. Because, I mean, even if you have a bolt that's technically smaller than that hole already, that's going to be way too big.
Okay.
Looks like something like the 8.
That's smaller than what's in there.
Yeah? Cool. Well, then maybe we don't even need to drill it out. Just grab a washer or something and...
Is that gonna be long enough though? I have a whole fucking shit ton of these motherfuckers.
I bet if we run that in with the impact, it'll be just right. Grab a couple of washers. Let me figure out what size it is. You got the size that it is on the ratchet.
Fine threader.
Yeah, just change the course to fine. Either see if you tighten it down or just keep hogging her out. Either way, we got a little bit of ways to go still. All right. Yeah, a couple washers.
You be able to get a nut on the back side of that?
Yes.
You got the nut for it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Shoot it up?
No.
No.
Wish I had the right angle drill today. There you go. Yeah, nice. Little washer for the front, as long as it doesn't interfere with the fan.
Should be closer to
We can make it so it doesn't. Alright, run that guy back in. Started. This way we started. Get belt back on. Can't get belt back on now.
back pulley.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little belt on, cool. Let's find a way to pry that back some.
I do got a big ass pry bar.
You do got big ass pry bar now?
Yeah.
I'd go grab that and then I'll let you pry and I'll tighten. Yeah, you got vice grips here, that'll work.
What did we use last time?
Now let me grab a light so that we don't bust nothing. Where did I put my light? There it is. A little bit of light on the situation. I'm gonna need to be tighter than that. Different. You might even be able to, I think it might have bit into the alternator enough to where, yeah, you can probably let go so that you can get the tool back here and grab another. Bolt action here. See if I can, yeah, you want to hold one? Just broke the bolt, did we not? Or, yeah.
Yeah, it must have.
Something just broke, or we stripped it. Let's find out. Oh, broke the bolt.
In the alternator.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Get it out from this side.
Ooh, maybe. Yes, you are. No, that's turning now.
Is it?
Yep. Wow, cool. So now we're taking the alternator all the way off. Nice. This is what happens when you try to cut corners, kids. Take this as a learning lesson. This is what happens when you try to cut corners.
I suppose once we take that nut off there.
Yeah, we might be able to grab it with a vice grips actually once we have the alternator out. Unhook this battery again. Son of a gun. So, 9/16. It's actually 5/8. It's 9/16, so I just didn't line it up right, I guess. Yep. inch. That's really tight. I'm gonna go grab a wrench for that. Jesus. Forgot that alternator's a metric. Nice 10mm, and she'll come right off. Alternator out. Now let's deal with extracting this broken bolt. We'll get the nut off of it. Alright guys, as you can see, bolt is broken off there. Nut spinning freely. I'm hoping that I can grab it with a vice grips and just keep walking it out the back. We are becoming successful, guys. We're walking it right out. Just walking it right out, nice and slowly. Yes. It's getting to where the vice grip marks are. Very good. Yes, very much yes, just like that we got it out. Toss that over there, broken. Let's drill this hole out now to something usable. What size bolt you got here, buddy?
What do we gotta do to get here?
That's a lot we gotta do to get there. Maybe not so much actually. We could probably do that. Does that fit through the bracket?
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. We'll work up to it. But it is aluminum, so it should drill nice. Let's see. And we're just gonna drill out this right through the radiator hose.
Right through the radiator.
Couple sizes bigger. Nothing too much more crazy. Really nice drill bit. Perfect. And just like that, we now have a new through bolt. Perfect. Life will be grand. We'll be able to tighten it down as tight as we want until that aluminum ear snaps off. But it'll be tight. The bolt will be tight to that ear. I'll probably put that wire back on because that was a... Come here, buddy. There you are. Little buddy wire. Oh, cooperate. Don't you want to go home? Yeah, that's right. There we go. See, a ratchet would make this faster, but I'm too lazy to go grab the socket, so we're just going to keep slowly swinging a wrench. There it is, nice and taut. Put the little booty back over it. Flip her upside down, get her drop down into home. Long bolt on the bottom, where you took it out from. If you took it out. If you're fixing somebody else's problem, long bolt goes on the bottom. There we go. Nice and started. Bring this bracket back down. Grab my last plug in just so I don't forget about it now. Put that guy over there. I think that bolt goes there. Had a washer, but this one right here.
I think the other one was the stripped all alternator bolt.
Oh, that one is?
Not this one.
Oh.
The one you had the washer, was that a washer on that one?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that was, yep, I see what's happening is there now. I think this is the bolt we actually
Yep.
need right there. Just a little guy to hold the bracket in place. our new guy involved. Yeah, come on. Come on. Good. There we go. Yeah. There's a whoosher fit on the back. A whoosher does fit on the back. Nice. Alright. Be able to get that guy nice and taut. Yeah, cool. Back to standard bolts here again. That's American intended fractions. All the way down.
It's good when you hear it hit the ground though.
Yes,
You're
that's,
not digging for it.
that was always a good time.
Worst place on these is down there.
Yes.
They are goners. Unless you take the fender off.
I have replaced sockets because of that.
Yeah, I bet you if you rip apart that Cadillac on the trailer, there's 2 or 3 of them down there. So.
Cool. This little guy goes there. Okay. Yeah, 9/16 wrench. 9/16 wrench acquired. All right, you wanna grab the old pry bar again, and let's get the belt on first. There we go. There we go. Yes. I'll just get out of your way so you can get it jabbed in there and walked around. You could probably release. No, she's going anywhere. That's nice and taut. Can I get this tucked over here or something? Nice and taut. Bring this back over. Oop. Oop. Bring it out. Something like that. Oh, need the battery. Huh. No battery. Boom. Installed. Alrighty. Alternator should stay tight now.
Yeah, better.
I mean, that's a done deal there. Hook your battery back up. And that task is done. And then you said you wanted to bleed the brakes one more time?
Yeah.
The fronts?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Cool, we can do that quick. Alright guys, like he said he wanted to just bleed the front brakes real quick. I'm not even going to pull tires, I'm just reaching under here, finding the bleeder valve and opening it. Pump them up?
Yeah.
understand what's going on here. Those tweeters are different size. Alright, whenever you're ready now again, I guess. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Alright, again. Well, let me check fluid level quick before we run.
I just filled it when we started.
Okay. Yeah, your master is leaking really bad.
No, that's me. I spilled the shit
Okay.
ton. Yep.
Nice little geyser. One more time. Alright, yeah, there's not much air there, brother.
Cool. I'll order that master too.
Alrighty. Well, guys, we bled the front brakes. Alright, guys. Well, that wraps up the 79 Bonneville for now. He's going to probably just keep daily driving it to work. He's going to order in a master cylinder. When he gets that, we'll put that on for him, bleed up brakes again so that they're nice and solid. Oh, yeah, you're definitely going to need some fluid in there. But other than that, he really enjoys the car, which is awesome. So I'm happy that there's just another classic cruiser back on the road. Until next time, guys, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys later.